Our 25% off Black Friday sale is live right now. All of our boot accessories, camera gear, wallets, belts are all 25% off, and they make the absolute best gifts, so check them out below. A little barefoot unboxing of Bearfoot shoes. Because these guys are kind of the Trailblazers, some of the OGs in the barefoot world, especially from the perspective of higher quality stuff and not focusing so much on like eco-friendly. Also, Taco, you're gonna be loud the whole show, aren't you? For that, you've got to be on camera. This is Taco, Toaster's cousin. When you're here, your family, Taco. Especially for the views. Give him a meow. Give him a meow. Show the people your cute meow. Well, I guess not. It'll happen. It will happen, I promise. He's a good meower. A lot of people have no idea that Anvil started as a leather goods company and especially a camera gear company, because in 2018 we launched our very first, well, a second Kickstarter, raised $500,000 for a camera harness. COVID hit immediately after, and so we started cutting boots and shoes in half from a professional leather worker's perspective. And then that whole thing happened, you know, now we're nearly at 1 million subscribers. But I finally got around to designing all the rest of the camera gear that I've been wanting to release for like the last 5 years, starting with the little slim wrist strap, cinches down, hand sewn. It's our belt thickness leather, so it's super sturdy. Our slim neck strap, same kind of concept. Really simple attachments, solid brass, hand sewn details, a little neck piece there. The lasso link, which is one of my favorites because this thing is super articulate. You see all these little individual pieces and how they flow and move around. Our Lone Bandit that you probably heard me talking about plenty, that holds one camera at about as comfortably as humanly possible because it distributes your weight over a larger surface area. And then the Big Daddy, the full Bandit harness. This carries 2 to 3 cameras, because you can get a third camera attachment with the Pro package, and everything is designed by me and handmade right here in the shop. So if you need to get some Christmas gifts, some birthday gifts, if you need to upgrade your camera gear, or if you got an old camera just sitting around, you need a good excuse to pull it out, get yourself a little strap, check them out below, and thanks for supporting our handmade leather goods that makes this whole channel possible. These guys were kind of some trailblazers in the barefoot industry because they're not that super over the top, eco-friendly everything. We only use like vegan this, vegan that, and then the result is you just end up with a terrible product. They sacrificed so much to that honestly good goal of being eco-friendly and all that stuff, you know, that it ruins the product to some degree. And Barefoot is the exact opposite. These dudes are just a bunch of jacked homies that are just like, they're just huge, they're like using axes to cut things apart, and you know, they've got a good sense of humor, and this is more of like my kind of like branding, and like I like when people are doing this kind of thing, and I just get annoyed with the eco-friendly branding sometimes, because there are brands that are actually out there doing it. But we've also seen like the North Face, we've seen some of these big brands that are the eco-friendly brands be so clearly not eco-friendly in the actual application of their products that, you know, I err on the side of not liking that kind of stuff. And I like stuff that is sustainable through quality, sustainability through durability. I think that's one of the other channel's taglines. That might be Carmel Morawski's or something. Sustainability through durability? That to me is more sustainable. And maybe it's not, like when you get down to every single carbon emission caused by the boot, maybe not. But also, like, I don't trust any of that stuff anyway, because it's like, how far are you going to take it? Are you going to talk about like, how far down the production line are you going to go? Are you go to the tannery? Are you going to go to the cattle ranch? Are you going to go to the ranchers, or I mean the farmers that grow the hay? Are you going to go to the, you know, it's like, how far do you take the eco-friendly thing? And once again, I'm not saying it's bad, but I think too many brands focus on it at the expense of their product and their brand. Where these guys are just like, no, we want to make some barefoot boots that are tough, that are rugged, that you can weight lift in, that you can go like out and do real stuff in, that are going to be durable, like high quality materials. And we cut these apart a couple years ago, and they've continued to iterate and make things better and better. And they're from Fargo, like they're based in Fargo. If that's, actually, I don't know much about Fargo except for the movie and the series. But I just assume it's tough living up there. It's cold as heck. So, what's this? Well, if you remember, we released we released the Barefoot African Troopers, which was really like the first fully true heritage boot that's a barefoot style, and people loved it. It's still selling like crazy. People have been getting them over the last few months with lots of really good feedback. And I think a lot of people would assume, oh, we made a collaboration on a barefoot boot that's like traditionally made and it's like really rugged. So that means that Rose Anvil's never going to cover any other boots that are barefoot, that are rugged, that are leather, that are heritage. And I try to do the exact opposite, because we're not trying to force anyone out of the industry. We're not trying to like capture a little segment of the industry. We're trying to make really cool stuff and really unique things that haven't been done before, and highlight the brands that are the trailblazers that make them possible, and show the other brands that are doing it in different ways. Show the brands that are, taking unique angles, even different from what we're doing. So like, for instance, this is their made in the USA Bruin boot. And it's traditionally made. It looks like it has some good materials. It's made in the United States. And yeah, I think it's such a cool project and product that regardless of what I've collaborated on or where my design ideas are headed, it's still way better to bring light to these guys, because a rising tide lifts all ships. More publicity to more barefoot stuff helps everybody. More brands being on the channel, more brands supporting like our channel and doing like this process of trying to every single year improve their product. That's the fun of it. So that was a pretty long preface, but I just like these guys, and I think they're doing some cool stuff, and it's fun to highlight brands that I think that are worth highlighting, and especially big old Jack Rose that are the exact opposite of like every other barefoot company. I can't help but love it. What knife? I should probably grab another knife. I've done like 3 unboxing of this. There's that little Kershaw Blade HQ exclusive. They're nice and scary. So let's see what this might. Is it the first barefoot traditionally made boot from the US? It might be. Beautiful. Ooh. That is much more traditional than their other boots. That's Chrome XL too. I can't tell if it's Chrome XL. It's similar to Chrome XL. Horween's Chrome XL. One of the most famous tanneries in the entire world. Look at these, oh my gosh. That is a wide toe box. And that's something that's different from like our Jim Green collaboration. Is the Jim Green last is slightly rounded to make it just a little more aesthetic while still being super wide. And this is clearly all about the width. And I guess it does kind of come in a little bit here at the toe, but it's pretty freaking wide. And the thing with these kind of boots, the barefoot world seems to be really, really sensitive of if it's not truly 100% zero drop, if it's not 100% 17 inches wide at the toe. But I think people forget that these higher quality boots, they're made to conform to the shape of your foot. They're made to kind of bulge out where you need it and keep tight where you need it. And so for me, I was never really concerned about the Jim Green last, because you just bulge it out. It's like an 1/8 of an inch difference from one side to the next compared to like a true barefoot shape. And I think it's the same thing with these. I think there's gonna be people like, no, it kind of comes in right here. And it's like, yeah, but your big toe within a few days is gonna bulge that out. And I guess there's like something to say, like, well, I don't want to have my toe pressed for a few days to bulge that out. I want it to be natural. And I get it, but at what point do you stop at the width? Like they're so freaking wide, some of those wide toe boxes. And it's a pretty unique pattern too. You can see it's kind of that almost like a lace to toe pattern where you've got the vamp panel goes over top. Very similar style. Ooh, this is oily, greasy leather. That is almost sticky. I don't think it's Horween though. It might be like Seidel's natural, like Chrome XL, similar leather. Okay, got a half sock liner with the Blake stitch underfoot. You could put a little like thin insole in there if you wanted, just to kind of cover that Blake stitch. No lining except for up here on the collar and in the vamp. I don't think that's a true toe cap. It looks like it might not be. We'll see if we cut it in half. If you guys want to see it cut in half, let me know. More importantly, look at that big old veg tan midsole. and then the Vibram outsole. Because I don't like the Barefoot other outsole, because it's just their logo over and over and over, and that's a dangerous game. Like, it can either look really, really cool, or it cannot look cool. And I prefer this. I think that's a much better, more aesthetic pattern, and it's Vibram. Pretty stiff heel counter too, especially down here. I'm curious how this boot is built, because these are super low quantities. They're making about 50 of these a month, and it's like a, I don't know if it's a collaboration actually. They're made in the United States, up in Wyoming or Montana. This should be the same state, for being honest. Not much difference. Just kidding, guys. Wyoming and chill out. Idaho's in there too. Idaho should all just be one state. But they're handmade, not in a giant factory. It's a small team of people, and so you're gonna have some flaws. You're gonna have some inconsistencies. You're gonna have a longer wait time, or you're gonna have smaller batches. Because in order to do this, you almost have to do that, because we looked for suppliers and people that could make a barefoot boot in the US, and we couldn't really find anybody. And so maybe we'll cover more of that if we cut this in half, because that's what Rose Anvil 2 is slowly becoming, is like, wait, do you guys want to see this cut in half? Oh, it got 5,000 views? We probably won't do it. Oh, this got 20,000 views? Oh, we could do that. We could cut that in half. And so we'll see. If you guys want to see it, support this video, because it looks like it's a step up. Solid brass eyelets, you know, some nicer laces. It does have an actual leather insole. I can feel it. That's what that hardness on the edge there is. That's the insole. The leather midsole, the rubber outsole, really nice leather. And what size did I get here? And they retail for just under 400 bucks. I think they're $395. So the regular Bearfoot Bruin is $250. The Patriot Bearfoot Bruin is $400. So you do pay a premium for it. That's what you know, if you want US made stuff, and if you want smaller batch production, a lot of times you pay a little bit of a premium to get that. So what size is this? I think it's time to try them on. Wait till you see what random collection of boots and shoes I have on my feet. Okay, it's a US 11. I'm a 10 on the Brannock. I probably should have got a 10. I don't know if I just misspoke. Oof, got the hiccups. What am I wearing? This pair of nearly blacked out Thoroughgoods. We just did an unboxing of it. I don't know if it's out or not, but they hooked up the crew with a few pairs. We did a little group unboxing so we could test some Thoroughgoods over an extended period of time to start doing some more of the longer term reviews, some more opinions rolled in where several people have been wearing the same boot to have different experiences because they're different lives and feet and everything. And this is like the Coil collaboration. I don't know if this is already out or if this is coming out. This is the first of its kind, and it's gonna be so sick. So if you want a pair of these, get on that limited edition email list, because if they're sold out, we'll probably do another drop. If it hasn't come out yet, you'll be on the email list for the drop, the sizing information, the early access, most importantly. So let's see what's what. You can tell these are like small batch too. Ooh, it's so roomy. Obviously I'm one size up from what I maybe should have ordered. Yeah, if y'all are like, these Barefoot boots are not big enough or wide enough, or not, they don't have enough volume. These have as much volume as you could ever want, but keep in mind, I'm a whole size up from what I would have normally got. But you can see how much volume that upper has. Yeah, it's like they're wide. There's no mistaking it. So in the 11s, when my weight is on my foot, my big toe goes to about there. So I think I would have gone down true to Brannock. And obviously going a full size down is going to reduce some of this volume, because I have really low volume feet, whisper feet, and dumb. What is it called? The instep. I have a really small instep. I've got pretty narrow feet, low volume feet, and usually the Barefoot stuff is made for people that really need Barefoot shoes. They can't even hardly fit in regular sneakers. And these are targeted and positioned more towards people that need the wide stuff, because these are giant. And keep in mind, they're one size up, and so it's exaggerated, but it gets the point across. because my toe ends about there. Pretty cool. I like it. I like seeing brands like pushing the industry like that. I like seeing people be like, I don't care what it takes, even if I have to find a shop in Montana, I'm gonna find somebody to make a made in the USA like Barefoot boot. And they did it. And you gotta give them props for that. And it's cool to see these smaller brands that have slowly been coming up in this new side of the footwear industry with the barefoot stuff, really starting to put their flag in the ground before all the giant corporations come in and take it all over. You know, it's cool. I like backing the underdog. You know, the story of these smaller brands is so much more fun. So shout out to Barefoot. And if you want a pair of these, check them out below. And if you want me to see me cut these in half, also let me know, because I'll do it. I'll do it because I want to see how they're built, and I want to tell a little bit more of the story, because it's pretty interesting. So thank you guys for watching, and check out the coil collaboration, check out that Kershaw knife, whatever else I mentioned in the video. And I'll put the links to the first cut in half of this and whatever other videos are featuring these boots. So thank you guys. See ya.